Hello, good morning to you. I'm just gonna get on here and sing to you. We are live on Facebook, and so what I'm gonna do is today we have a new moon in Taurus. It's going to be at see, yeah, there we go. That's me. Um, Let's see. So, yeah, today is the new moon in Taurus, and it's happening at noon, I believe, Eastern time. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just like I normally do so that you can see all of the transits in real time. This is in realsies time. And I really quickly do want to point out that I am here in Okinawa and it is now nighttime. It's almost 10 p.m. And since it's almost 10 p.m., you will see that all of these planets are below this line right here. That's called the ecliptic. So all of these planets are now in a place where, like, it's nighttime. Okay, so this is a nighttime chart. So, well, I know this especially because the sun is not where I can see it. Okay, because it's nighttime. Gosh, Tony. All right, hello. You'll also notice that, check it out. Here's the moon. The moon is at 18 degrees and the sun is at 21 degrees. And very, very soon, I'm going to go by hour. Watch this. Let's see here. The moon's still at 18 degrees, 19 degrees, 19 degrees, 20 degrees. And finally, once we get to 3:53 a.m., at about 4 a.m. my time, that would make it 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go. That is when the official new moon will take place. New moon in Taurus. And so I am on here to tell you a little bit about that. So, um, so the way that this new moon affects you is it all depends on where Taurus falls in your chart, what house it's in, if it's in your uh did I exit out of Facebook? I didn't. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good. Yay. Yay me. I'm not doing things wrong. Okay, um yeah, depending on what is happening in your Taurus house, that's going to be how you feel it. So again, if it's in your first house, you're going to be feeling it on a very personal, almost even physical level. If it's in your second house, you might be feeling it more in like the pocketbook. You might be feeling somehow connected to your values and feeling like you need to do something with that. If it's hitting your seventh house, if your Taurus is in your seventh house, and you're probably going to be feeling it in your relationships. And so this all depends on where Taurus is in your chart and what planets you have there. So we have the new moon trine to Pluto. So check this out. Okay. Um, it's a weaker trine. Okay, you see this? But at the same time, it is a trine and it's an aspect to Pluto. And Pluto is an interesting sort of planet that brings up intensity. So this could bring intense passionate feelings. It's possible that this could bring up some emotional turmoil with some folks. And this could make you want to just head for ice cream because Taurus loves to comfort comfort itself. And so, like, for me, I've been craving that mint chocolate chip ice cream. Breyers, so good. Okay. But and so that's my inner Taurus wanting the ice cream. This is an opportunity though. If you have something come up, this is a really good opportunity for you to just sit with the feelings, sit with what is truly happening for you. Um, and just giving it space and having a little chat with that that we've been doing a lot of inner child work in the 10-day Venusian painting meditation journey. So a lot of talking to that little one, that inner little one that might be experiencing things on such an intense scale. Intensity with Pluto also has to do with that rage that little babies get whenever they when you could see that they're shaking and crying. I remember my little ones. That it's almost like a um fearful cry, and it's one that is connected to like just that bait that are my needs going to get met? Am I going to be fed? you know um my butt hurts, I have diaper rash, will somebody please change my diaper? Like, and you can tell when it really really gets to them because they'll start shaking and crying, and that's Plutonian. That is Plutonian energy right there. So so this new moon has the potential to dig up just that connection with that feeling, that rage, that Plutonian rage goes back all the way until you were newborn, like really really small infant. So it's almost like infantile. It's connected to that infant, that sort of rage that we have when we're infants. And it's not necessarily something that we can control, especially if we haven't necessarily had our needs taken care of. And so I do want to urge you throughout this time, throughout this new moon, if things are coming up, go inward, kind of, hold that inner child, hold that part of you that needs care and love and support and nurturing, and just you're going in as the adult, as your inner, like the your inner authority is going to be taking over, and for that and taking care of that younger part. So I can lead you through a thing. So yeah. So anyway, so this is, again, it's an opportunity to sit with that younger part as the witness, the part of you that's kind of self-led, and be with that younger part. So um and take care of yourself. Remember that self-care isn't just about making yourself feel better when you're sad, but it's also about doing the work when it's time. So of course it looks different for everybody. You may even feel like throwing a fit or a tantrum. Totally fine. But I highly, highly recommend getting out into nature, and maybe even screaming your head off on the top of a mountain if you need to. But this will help to neutralize what is happening to you. On the 11th, or today, the new moon is also sextile to Neptune. So I want to point that out again. See that big blue line right here? Okay, that's the new moon. It is sextile to Neptune. And this makes this new moon especially watery. Once again, it's a watery new moon. It's emotional, and it's also amazing for dreaming. So if you're in the 10-day meditation painting journey thing, awesome, because then you're getting that part of you activated. You're getting it out. Neptune loves to create. Neptune loves to do anything creative. So, and whenever you're dealing with emotions, you're also dealing with the creative part of yourself. It's all second chakra stuff. So, so yeah, this new moon is especially watery. It's especially emotional. It's also amazing for dreaming. So pay attention to your dreams. If you have a creative practice, please, please, please do it. Incorporate it into your new moon practice, especially. Allow yourself to dream, and allow that dreamy place that you get in. When I'm painting, it's a very intuitive thing. It's a very intuitive process. And I won't know what's going to happen when I start painting. But then the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, cool. It's a peacock. I didn't know that's what was going to happen. So, yeah. So just And of course, that peacock has a message for me. So just pay attention to that. That's Neptune. That's Neptune coming through. But yeah, also consider, what is it that you want to call in? Consider your desires. Yet again, another thing that we have been focusing on in the 10-day journey, the painting journey. But yeah, paint with that intention, draw with that intention, write with that intention. It doesn't necessarily have to be paint. Doing something with creativity, do it with intention. What is it that you want to release? Um, so one practice that I love to do too is to take a canvas or a canvas board. You can get canvas boards for relatively cheap, and you just write a bunch of stuff that you want to get rid of. Like you want to release it. You can write that all out. And you know what? This is a new moon. This is when we are calling in what we want, what we desire. It's not, but at the same time, there's such a Plutonian influence that you do want it's okay to want to release whatever you've got that you're holding on to as well. So anyway, so you take a canvas board and you write down all the things that you want to let go of, that you're trying to just like, that you just need it to go, because you are on a mission, right? Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is allow that to dry and then write over it all the things that you want to call in. You can write it in paint. You can write it in, I love Posca pens. You can write it in Posca pen, and then start to create a painting over that. So, yeah, so that's a little process that I like to do whenever okay. So whenever I'm teaching art and astrology. So it's kind of fun. But the new moon is for calling in whatever it is that you're looking forward to. And we're looking towards we're looking towards a Gemini full moon. So even though this is a Taurus new moon, we're looking towards a Gemini full moon. Um, so, what is it that you want to bring into your life in terms of connecting with others? Because Gemini is connected with is has to do with connecting with others, and very soon, that's where we're headed, and is into Gemini season. So, what is it that you would like to bring into your life in terms of connecting with others? Are you a business person, and do you want to connect with other people and start making some really good connections? If so, this is something that you can put out there. How do you wish to communicate? If you've got somebody that you want to communicate with, or um, like say you've been out of touch. I mean, it's so funny. I just watched a SNL skit on what it's on. The scene was a party, and everybody was kind of intermingling after having been, in lockdown with the whole coronavirus, all this stuff. Nobody knew how to communicate. And so I think that's a good goal for Gemini. Full moon in Gemini. Let's start to figure out how to communicate with one another again. Okay, so tomorrow, the 12th, I'm gonna fast forward a day. There we go. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, so we have a Venus conjunct the moon in Gemini. So going around, here's Gemini. Okay, so Venus is going to be conjunct the moon. It's going to be the 13th here in Okinawa, but it'll be the 12th there in the United States. But if you'll notice, the moon and Venus are pretty much to the same degree. So that's a conjunction. And this just brings sweetness and love. And it can also bring about clinginess and excessive flirtatiousness. So be careful with who you're with. They may also be getting the vibe. So uh, also on the 12th, we have Sun sextile to Neptune right here. Still, because we just had the moon, the sun and the moon conjunct, which is a new moon, sextile to Neptune. So anyway, sun sextile to Neptune, that's an attunement with intuition and gifts related to the sixth and seventh chakras. So again, this can make you feel foggy. It can make you feel confused. It can also make you feel anxious or like you want to drink a lot. Okay, because Neptune is associated with addiction. And as with anything Neptune, just go with it. Dance with it, paint with it. This is a really creative week. If you're a creative person, if you like to create things, even if you don't have a creative practice, just try it. Try it out. See what happens. Neptune loves to express itself creatively, and your sun is yourself. So express yourself in a creative way. And finally, let's see here. We've got Moon trine to Jupiter. Here, let's see. I think maybe I'm going to go back one. There we go. No, that's not. Nope. There we go. Moon trine to Jupiter. It's starting to click in now. So on the 14th, 15th, there's a moon trine to Jupiter. This is a lovely positive transit. It does have the potential for wanting to be mothered, like sticking your thumb in your mouth and wanting to be rocked to sleep. Overall, though, it's a really nice transit. And also, Jupiter is moving into, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but notice what sign Jupiter just moved into. It's Pisces. So, all right, I'm going to go back one day. Check it out. Okay. So here it's at the 29th degree in Aquarius, and then it pops on over to Pisces. Super fun. So think back at 2010 and think, because that's the last time that Jupiter was in Pisces, and think about what themes came up that year. you know so really, really think about that. um Jupiter and Pisces. Jupiter is expansive and Pisces is the collective. Jupiter is about the belief in idealism, and Pisces is, again, it's the collective. And so this is a very intuitive, um, dreamy placement for Jupiter to be in. Jupiter is in its home sign in Pisces. Because once again, Jupiter also is about higher learning, connecting with that which is higher than yourself, bigger, much bigger than yourself. And so it being in this Pisces sign, again, it's kind of exciting. So it's going to be here just for a little bit. It's not going to be staying for very long because it's going to go retrograde. Let me see. I'm going to fast forward by months now. So right now we've got Jupiter. Let's see here. Watch Jupiter. Here it's at 2 degrees. This is in June. In July, Jupiter is still here. Jupiter moves into Aquarius sometime in August. So let's see here. I can even do it by day. Aha, there we go. It looks like, yeah, late July. Yep, late July. All the way until late July, it's going to be in Pisces. So that's going to be, it's kind of like a foreshadowing of what it's going to be like next year, because it's going retrograde, but then it's going to turn around and it's going to head back into Pisces again. And so you're going to get a little bit of a taste of what it's going to be like for next year. So I think it's going to be a really nice, beautiful sort of transit. And if you have any planets in Pisces, then it'll be an interesting one for you wherever your Pisces is. I know some folks who have Pisces ascendants, who have their sun in Pisces, and who maybe have been going through a little bit of a rough time. Jupiter is a benefic. Jupiter it's a great planet to have on your side. So I am absolutely hopeful for that one too. Let's see here. So Sun trine Pluto. Let's see here. I'm going to go back by the month. Alrighty, here we go. Sorry. Alrighty, here we go. On the 15th, 16th, we have the sun trine to Pluto. See this blue line right here? There's Pluto. That's my planet. Okay. I'm gonna start making some astro merch here. Pluto girl. But this is all about self-empowerment. Pluto has to do with power. Sun has to do with self-empowerment, personal expression. This is about the hero escaping into the underworld. And if you did my hero's journey course, you know what that's all about. So this is about the hero escaping into the underworld. It could be uncomfortable. This could mean encountering some dark and shadowy energies. Okay, so I feel like all of 2020, you had all the new agey folk talking about how you have to do your shadow work. Um, but yeah, so it's like it's just hauling stuff out of your closet and paying attention to it. Okay. So just do your shadow work. Pay attention to what's in the closet, clean it out, do what you got to do. It's going to make you a better person for it. You know, you don't want to be walking around. Again, Pluto's associated with that rage, infant energy, like that, the temper tantrums that people don't really like to have in public. That's what Pluto is associated with. So if you find yourself sometimes raging and you just don't even know what the heck is going on, that's Pluto. So pay attention to that. It's really, really important. So if you have something that's in your closet and it happens to bubble up, there was a whole lot of that in 2020. Um, but here it is again, it's bubbling up yet again. Um, Whatever's happening, whatever is coming up for you, deal with it, look at it, pay attention to it, write with it, draw with it, paint with it, do whatever you need to do with it. Just deal with it. And I hate to say shadow work because I feel like shadow work, you gotta go do your shadow work. I'm done with that. I'm done. I'm so done. So, but, but just deal with your shit, for real. Just deal with it. So finally, also on this day, we have a moon Mars conjunction in Cancer. All right. So looking over at Cancer, let's see here going forward. Here we go. All right. So on the 16th, it's going to be the 16th here in Okinawa, the 15th in the States. But you see how close the moon is and how quickly it moves, right? So by the hour, here we go. And all right, there we go. That's your conjunction. You've got 13 degrees, Cancer. Yeah, there's that. So something that I want to point out is that right now the moon is out of bounds, or not the moon, the Mars is out of bounds. And that can make things totally wonky. That it's I heard it described by my one of my teachers. He says the Mars out of bounds is like, you've got Mars, that's being Mars, being squirrely little Mars, but squirrely little Mars with a funny hat on. Mars is going to be doing some really interesting things. Now it's conjunct the moon, which is a very emotional place in Cancer, which is also double emotional. So again, if you've got the feels, we're here to work on that. We're here to work on that. You're dealing with emotions. You're dealing with physical strength as well. You're dealing with irritability and upset when it comes to family matters. That's Cancer. Another thing that I want to point out is that we are also in eclipse season. So right here, right now, we're in this kind of like phase where it's like, think about 6 months in the future. Anything that happens from this point, from the eclipses on, it, you're going to be feeling whatever happens during that time 6 months later. It's good, like it's gonna kind of like unfold and just, aha, this is what happened because of that. So that's something to think about. Eclipses are very interesting. I'm not sure when our first one is going to be, but we are in eclipse season. So just be aware whatever themes are coming up. they could be coming up yet again in 6 months from now. So I feel like that's just helpful to know, because whatever does come up, then okay, if I deal with this right now, then later on, I'm not going to have all kinds of scummy stuff to have to deal with. You know what I mean? Um, at that time. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Especially when it comes to Pluto. If you're feeling like you need to deal with something and Pluto's involved, that ragey feeling, deal with it. Otherwise, it's going to keep on coming up and it's just going to keep on getting harder and harder and harder. Just deal with it. You know what I mean? So, all right, I'm going to stop share. Going to see if we've got anything happening in the Facebook group. Oh, Joanna, you're here. Yay. At Heaven in the 10th and a black. Yes. Oh, so you're feeling that. I've been super temper tantrumy, yes, this week, and letting her fight it out. Good. Yes. Letting the little one fight it out. I love that, Joanna. Witnessing her anger and allowing her to express it in healthy ways definitely has been kicking rocks. Wow. Wow. I can imagine how powerful that has been for you. Wow. Dedicating today to creativity. Yes. Perfect. 2010 was hard to access for a minute. Had to do some math and get dreamy. It was a very turning point year. Yes. I know for me, 2010 was when I met my wife. So, yeah. So I don't know. I'm totally dreamy about that. I'm feeling a little squishy, totally squishy about that. So yeah, I ended up on a journey I didn't expect, which was the highest path. That is so interesting. That's exactly what I wonder if that's probably has something to do with, Jupiter Pisces puts might fast forward you onto a track where you're just like, where am I? What happened? This is really cool. I love that. I love that. Okay. So, Nancy, my, I don't want to. Okay. All right. Anyway, so, all right, you guys. Well, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. And let me know if you have any questions about anything. All right. Take care. And yes, loving the challenge answers so far. This has been so much fun this month. So take care, you guys. Bye bye.